Hey beauties, welcome back to my YouTube channel. As you can see, I am back in the UK in my makeup studio just in time for the latest palette from Hourglass. Picked up 2 of the 5 palettes, the new quads available now, I would say pretty much everywhere. I ordered directly on the Hourglass website last week actually, and I got it delivered at home in the UK. I picked up 2 shades. I picked up Dusk and Dawn, and I just had a quick look on the website on Hourglass, and a lot of them are sold out. There are actually only 2 shades available at the moment. I wanted to pick up Sunset as well, but Sunset was already sold out when I was purchasing these ones last week. So at the moment you can purchase, actually no, the one that I wanted was Sunrise. So Sunset is still available and Golden Hour is still available. But Dusk, Dawn and Sunset are all Sunrise, my goodness. So Dawn, Dusk and Sunrise are currently out of stock or unavailable, so I have joined the waiting list. I know you can customize them. I am tempted to create my own palette, but I really wanted to see these ones, and obviously I'm going to swatch them and try them on today. A little bit more about the palette. So you've got 5 different palettes, so each of them have different shades into them, so each palette has 4 shades within the palette. So it is the Ambient Lighting Edit Quad, available in 5 exclusive pre-curated palettes featuring our best selling shades. So the shades are not new, they are just the best selling, and each powder use photoluminescence technology to diffuse surrounding light for skin that appears lit from within, and that is typical Hourglass. That is exactly why we like Hourglass. I think it's got that technology, it's got that very trademark proper to Hourglass, you know, that diffuse light, that glow from within, that blurring but yet very luminous finish. It is 100% Hourglass, and they are vegan and cruelty-free product. Important to mention that in each palette, the formula is formulated without alcohol, GMO, paraben, phthalate, talc, sulfate, gluten, and synthetic fragrance. So if you have a sensitive skin or you do not want to use a product that has those products in it, you are safe to use these palettes. Another thing that I really like from Hourglass is, well, the packaging is super luxurious, but it is so light. So if you are traveling, it is the perfect palette just to add in your travel bag, because within one palette, you literally have everything you need. So you have your finishing powder, you have your bronzer, your blush, and your highlighter. Technically, you don't need anything else. So this is the palette Dawn. How beautiful is this palette? I really like the color scheme. It's a little bit on the cool side of things. This highlighter is gorgeous, but this blush, oh my god, it just gives you that perfect, it's kind of like mauve blush. It is gorgeous. And the other palette, that is Dusk, again, quite neutral, a little bit more pinkish. This palette is Dusk, and actually these are 4 blushes in the palette. So I think, and that's why I've chosen the 2 different palettes, because I have so many options and I did not have these blushes. I had Oasis, the 3rd blush. So I had this one already from the previous limited edition palette that came out, but the rest of the blushes I didn't have them. So I'm quite happy to get my hands onto this palette. I already have my finishing powder, so I didn't want to go and add more finishing powders because I really like what I have. And honestly, the shelf life of this product is 12 months, but I have been using my lighting palette for such a long time. In my opinion, I get why there's a shelf life product. It has to be. But also, if there's no smell, if it doesn't interact weirdly with your skin, I think feel free to keep using it. So as you can see, I've done pretty much all of my makeup except for my bronzer and my blush and finishing powder because I wanted to try the palette with you today. So I'm going to first of all swatch them and then just apply them on my face. So I've swatched the palette. This is the palette Dawn. So this palette here that I have swatched on my hand, I think it's, so this first shade here is the finishing powder. So obviously it's a little bit harder to see on the skin because it's a finishing powder. The idea is not to see much, it's really just to give you that blur and that glow. But you see it on my hand how it has blurred the skin and just giving you that beautiful radiance and luminosity. This is your blush, this is your highlighter, and this is your bronzer. So the bronzer is not cool at all. It's got a bit of an orange undertone to it, but I am really liking these three shades. I think a bronzer like this, you can always make it work. Depending, if you have a super cool skin tone, this bronzer is not gonna look good for you. I think if you have a super cool tone skin, you're probably better off to create your own palette. That way you can actually really choose the shade that really works for you, because I would say, in my opinion, most of the palettes are a little bit more towards neutral to warmer skin tone. I feel, I haven't swatched all of them, but from what I can see on the website. So these are the 4 shades in the Dawn palette. And this is the swatch of the Dusk palette. So these are 4 blushes. Quite neutral, so really nice. We've got a really nice pink blush. This one is more of a mauve blush, and these two, they are blushes, but you could use them as highlighter, topper shade. They're really nice to be layered together. I really like. So this one has a little bit more of a highlighter potential in it, and this one is kind of a golden mauve shade. It is just beautiful. So this is the palette. I mean, how beautiful. It's just gorgeous. I like how the powder is extremely light on the skin. It just gives that perfectly light reflection blush. It's just, I love the formula. There's something about the Hourglass palette, and I think Hourglass has some product that are, you know, the staples, and these palettes are exactly what Hourglass is. This is just gorgeous. Now I'm going to apply the powders. I'm going to start with the bronzer. So this is in the palette Dusk. I've got a big loose brush. This is from Sephora. It is a powder brush 03. It is very old and it is all cracking, so don't buy a brush that has a plastic cover over a wooden bit, because honestly, it's really not good. So I've picked up my bronzer and I'm gonna come lightly on the forehead. And I am wearing today, my foundation is GUERLAIN Terracotta Le Teint, so the original matte foundation in terracotta, which I really like, and it's shade 2.5 neutral. Look at how it warms up the skin so nicely. It's very soft. It's not a super dark bronzer, which is really pleasant. And what I like about Hourglass, you can build the shades. They are made to be buildable. They have that capacity, so you can go and add a few layers until you have the shade that you want, the intensity that you want. And now I'm going to change brush, use something much smaller. This is a contour brush, and because I don't have any contour, I'm just gonna come here. Obviously it's a bronzer, but just to frame a little bit. Nothing too crazy, just a little bit. this. I'm going to layer two different blushes. I'm gonna go in the same palette, the Dusk palette, use the blush here at the top. And the brush I am using is from Spectrum, the collection with KGH, and this is the brush number 02. I'm gonna come here and I'm tapping the blush. I'm not rubbing the blush on the skin because I do not want to disturb. I've powdered my face, but I always prefer to use this technique. Same thing here. And on my eyes, I am wearing the Prada eyeshadow palette, the number 08. I do not remember the name of it, but it is 08. I'll make sure anyway that all the makeup that I'm wearing for today is in the description box. Look at how beautiful this blush is. It's got such a nice luminosity. And I'm gonna go in the other palette. So this is Dawn, and this is just the blush palette. And I will layer this blush here to add, because it's a little bit more dark and it's got a bit of a golden tone to it. And I'm just gonna go on the outer edge of the face, because this is a darker shade, like this. I'm kind of going upwards, mixing it with my eye makeup as the shades are very similar. Going back in the Dusk palette, and I'm going to use the highlighter shade here. And I've got my highlighter brush. This is from Rare Beauty. I'm going to place it right here. Such a beautiful formula. It literally just glides on the skin. Going to add a little bit on the bridge of the nose, as usual. And just here in the middle and on the sides. And now the finishing powder is the shade, the top shade here. Got a flat brush, actually the same brush as I use for my blush. I've got the brush twice. And you'll see once you apply that finishing powder, it blurs the skin and it gives you the most beautiful finish and luminosity. If you're looking, sometimes you feel like your makeup is just missing something. Try a finishing powder. Hourglass is one of my favorite for sure, but Charlotte Tilbury, the airbrush finish powder really just ties up your makeup completely. And look at this, it blurs completely the pores. It just adds that little something. It really just ties up your makeup together. I never skip my finishing powder, whether it's Les Météorites from GUERLAIN, whether it is Hourglass, Charlotte Tilbury. It just finishes the makeup. It just add that flawlessness to your makeup. There's no line, everything just blurs and melts in onto your skin. And because I'm here to try, I'm gonna add a little bit of this blush. So going back in, I'm really struggling with the name of the palette because I keep going from back and forth, but this is Dusk. This is the 4 blush. So I'm gonna take the pink shade here at the top. I've got a much smaller brush, and I'm just gonna add a little bit here on the apple of the cheek. just to have that really little pop of pink, and this one has a really nice luminosity to it. So that's the final look with a little bit of pretty much all the shades in the two palettes. Whenever the Sunset palette goes back to be available, I'll definitely get it. I am tempted to build my own palette with the other shades that I do not have in my collection. I think the formula is amazing. I like the size, it's super light. I think there's definitely a palette for everyone. The only sad thing is they're pretty much sold out already. Obviously, you can join the waiting list, which is what I've done for the Sunset palette, and fingers crossed that it's gonna come back to be available online. Also, if you have a dry skin or an oily skin, the palette will work for you. It doesn't matter. The powders are just super light. They do not sit on the fine lines. I have been using Hourglass for such a long time, and I can tell you it's not gonna crease. They're not patchy. They just glides onto the skin, and even if you have an oily skin, they will stay in place. They are such good product. They are extremely reliable powders. So let me know down below in the comments what you guys think. Are you planning on purchasing? Have you purchased them? Maybe you are waiting to see what are the reviews. In my opinion, they're definitely worth it. I believe they are £66 here in the UK. I think they are product that you're going to use all year around. It's not a palette that is just tailored for summer or winter. There are shades that are good for all year around, any look. They are very classic shades, and that's why they are so popular. I mean, look at the glow. Look at how it just brings your skin alive. It gives you beautiful colors. As I mentioned earlier, I will make sure that all the makeup product that I've used for today's look is down below in the description. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, go to my channel. I've got plenty of other reviews for you. If you've liked the video, give it a thumbs up, share with your friend. And as usual, a big thanks for watching, guys.